So we took a little trip down south to Phoenix to get away from the cold here in Flagstaff. I threw my S22 in and my Insta360 1X3 and got down to the valley and actually ended up getting a nice little block of time alone where I could go do a pretty good ride. So I grabbed the Insta360 and soon realized that I had forgot to stick an SD card in it, micro SD card. So I ended up having to take this little run downtown about 3 miles away from the resort to pick up a new SD card at this was a CVS. So now I'm on my way back. The area I'm trying to go explore and see if I can get to some trails is west, kind of out west behind the resort that we have been staying at. This is the resort right here on the right. So I had actually went down here earlier and ran into a couple that live in the area, and they explained to me how to get to the trails from this road. You actually have to know that you can go around a gate that's posted private property, no trespassing, but it's the local access to the trails. So that was quite the gift there. Just happened to run into them. They were hilarious. They kept asking me to ride circles around them so they could film me riding the S22. So right here is where you go around the little gate that is marked no trespassing. I pass another lady right here that lives in the area, and I get a little bit confused as I come up to another gate. So she's kind enough to help explain the trails a little bit more to me here.
The trail to the left here is very rocky.
Okay, yeah, this one that'll climb, I want to try that.
Yep.
And then this goes to another trail that stays in the valley?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
flatter. It goes over to another road.
You just stay on this road?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to try this, I
Okay,
guess.
sure. You can walk it to
See what I can do. Is it open? Oh, it wouldn't make a difference anyways. I got to lift it over. I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This gate here was definitely not EUC or mountain bike friendly. You have to
Fairly easy.
pick it up over a bar there. It was kind of funny.
One-handed.
So here I start the first part of the trail system. This section is a little wider than what I would call, just single track. It's probably a old 2-track road that's slowly kind of making it down to one track here. So I couldn't have picked a better day. It had actually been pretty cold down here the whole week before I showed up, even the day before. Another mountain biker said that the day before it was so cold he wore long sleeve pretty well the whole day. Today it's just gorgeous. So here this trail turns and starts going up towards the mountain range that I'm hoping to try to climb with this. So I turn up and I'm following this fence line, and at this point I don't really show the section where I stop and get off a couple times, but definitely it was really washed out down there. This section of trail, actually the top section of the trail, was in much better shape, and this is legit single track right here. But the lower section had got pretty washed out, and I was like kind of wondering what I had got myself into. I'm just about ready to run into a guy coming down on his mountain bike. Oh, here we are right here. This guy was really nice, super cool to talk to.
This is every bit as fun. I got 130 millimeters of suspension on this thing.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
So I'm being really careful. I didn't expect to get to do a ride like this. I was thinking that I might get a chance to go to this little park that we go to when we come down, and I've been using it to kind of safely help teach my girls how to ride their EUCs. So I didn't bring any of my normal gear. I didn't have my full face helmet on. Didn't have my chest protection on, and so I was really, this whole ride, being super careful. I injured my shoulder, actually tore my rotator cuff trying to ride in 8 inches of snow here in Flagstaff about a month ago. So I'm still a bit gun shy, and definitely riding very carefully. And the thing about this country here is everything on the trail will either poke, prick, or scratch you. I mean, there's cactus everywhere and a lot of really sharp rocks and stuff. It is just it's not the type of area that you want to take a digger, because especially if you land in a cactus, you're just not going to have a good day. This section here was just ridiculously steep. I was struggling not to slip. I have these work boots on, and they don't have very aggressive tread. And I mean, they were trying to slip out from underneath me right there. I actually would have been better to have just rode that section out. It probably would have been safer. So, but like I said, I'm being very reserved and careful because I'm just not geared up like I would normally be. So coming up right here, I've just been dreaming of getting to chase a mountain biker, and I get my chance. I have mountain biked for years, actually since 2006. I've been a pretty avid mountain biker. Not sure what I'm going to do this upcoming season because I'm going to struggle getting back on a mountain bike. I'm just dreaming of ripping the trails in my local area on this EUC once all this snow melts. So I'm trying to stay as close to this guy as I can, and I kind of pride myself in getting along with people really well. I spend a lot of times in the woods hunting, riding mountain bike, and I end up really annoying this guy. When I do finally catch up to him, he stops another mile up here. He stops, and he's actually waiting for a buddy to catch up to him. I didn't realize there was another guy behind me, but I try to just make small talk with him, and he just wants nothing to do with me. It was pretty funny. So I had no idea there was going to be a water crossing. Thank goodness it wasn't flowing super deep. But, I'm still trying to catch this guy or stay up with him. And when I see this water, I guesstimate that it's, maybe a couple, 2-3 inches deep. as I'm rolling up on it. And as it turned out, it's actually about 9 to 10 inches deep right there. And once when I was in it, man, I was like, oh my goodness, what's it going to do to this S22? But she didn't even hiccup, man. No problems at all. So here I've caught up with this guy, and I'm trying to talk to him, and he
I'm
just
a mountain
wants
biker, and
nothing
you
to
give me a
do
chance
with
to
me.
see if I can even begin to keep up on this. I'm just learning now. That's pretty cool. Where's this water coming from? I just found it.
So I actually cut most of the conversation out because it was so one-sided and awkward. So there was actually, I went up the trail past him another couple miles, but to keep the duration of this video down to something that maybe 1 or 2 people might actually watch, I've cut all that out, and now I'm just trying to work my way back a little bit different route. I didn't want to have to cross that water again. So I ran into another guy on an electric mountain bike, and he actually told me that this route would be a good route to go back. So I'm working my way out. He actually told me about this spot here that I would come up and come out on a private driveway. But he said, you know, everybody does it, and I guess nobody has a problem with it. So I'm cautiously working my way through here, and just about ready to get back to pavement. The little creek is on my left, so I know that I'm going to have to cross it, but I'm hoping I get to cross it on pavement where the water's not so deep. I cut out another pretty long section here where I had to talk to some landowners to figure out how to get through their property to get back to this trail that I'm on. Here I'm going back around that gate that's marked private property, and I'm back on this final little easement, windy easement road. It was really a fun little section to run. So I'm about, you know, a mile and a half from the resort at this point. Well, earlier. Here I'm getting ready to turn back into the resort. I've designed and printed a handle that slides onto the shock hydraulic canister, and it actually works really good, and it kind of looks cool too. It gives the S22 a little tell. Maybe you guys can see it here in this shot. So we're back at the resort. I did a total of just a little over 16 miles, but probably a good 5 or 6 of that was my trip into town to get a new SD card. So rolling down to our little resort apartment here, and this is the second time I've taken my EUC and our other two. We have a V5 and a V8, and both resorts we stayed at, everybody was just awesome about the EUCs. Now we go pretty slow, and we're very careful not to make anybody mad on the property, on the different, these resort properties, and so far we've just been welcomed with them. I take the V5 and the V8 back and forth to the pool every time we go. Well, guys, once again, thanks for watching. This is Tim, over and out.
Huh? Yeah, I seen Matt was there. Hi, Maddie. How you doing, baby?
Did you have a good ride?
Oh, it was awesome.
I was gonna lock that back door. That's why I was gonna call you.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it? Oh man, I did a lot. It was awesome.
We went on Strava. We could see you.
Yeah. Whew, it's hot out there too.
Yeah.
This is Tim, over and out.